Hi, everybody. Welcome to Am I the Asshole podcast.
I was so subdued.
I'm here with my lovely co-hostess, with the co-mostess, Sarah Levine. How are you, Sarah?
I am good. I don't know.
You don't sound good,
I'm
Sarah.
okay.
Yeah.
It was an ordeal getting here because I got stuck underground on the subway. That was sad times. You can't even text anybody to let them know.
In between stations, you hate it.
It's the worst. I'm like, why do we even have Wi-Fi if it only works for the 3 seconds you're at a station?
Right.
What a waste of taxpayer dollars. I sound like a boomer,
Right.
but seriously.
Well, you sound like a boomer and you sound like you've forgotten what the days were like when you just had no service on the train at all.
Right. I'd rather have no service. What's the point?
Really? Because you would just then you could like lose yourself in a book or something?
Well, I do read a book, so it's fine. But yeah, it's
Yeah.
like, why, I don't even get it. It's like, why have it? Because the only times you need it are like when there's some kind of emergency. The only time there'd be an emergency is when you're stuck in between stations.
Right.
So it's just like, what is the point?
I don't think you're like most people, Sarah. And I say that because you're excellent and a friend
Thank
of mine.
you.
But also, I think that most people are neurotic psychos and they're like refreshing Insta. They're doing little checks.
That makes sense.
They're checking the news.
I just feel like I can't even accomplish anything also because you have to like watch an ad for 5 seconds, connect to the Wi-Fi. And then sometimes when I go to a
you
different...
don't get cell service? I'm sorry. I thought you meant by Wi-Fi you meant cell service the whole time.
Cell service is obviously spotty because you're underground.
No, I get full cell service at every station. Who do you have?
Verizon.
What?
I could maybe make a phone call. Sometimes I can text, but I can't like refresh Instagram or like
That's
some
'cause
necessarily.
you have like an iPhone 4.
I have a 7. Calm down. You probably had one not that long ago.
No, I never had an iPhone 7. I went straight from iPhone 6 to iPhone 10.
Okay, exactly. So you had a 6 at one point.
Yes, I did. And well, that was before they had any kind of internet.
Oh,
in the
really?
subway.
Damn.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, back
I don't
in
know. The
day.
subway, the MTA Wi-Fi is a pointless thing, but thanks, I guess.
Internet stories. Apple is a cell phone. Anyway,
Oh, what?
I don't know. My singing has gone downhill. I'm out of practice, Sarah. Well, guys, we're gonna just riff a bit, and then we're gonna do some calls. We're gonna call some people to be on the show, and this is the AITA call-in show.
Woo!
And a big apologies to Emily S., our wonderful Patreon subscriber. We just recorded one with her, but she called us on a tin can attached to a string.
Oh.
Her cell phone connection
The
wasn't very
disrespect.
good. We're not disrespecting. I didn't mean to disrespect her. I just, it was a poor connection. It's not her fault.
It's not her fault.
So we're super excited. We're excited to talk to the listeners, but it was a good holiday. I had a lot of fun. I ate a lot. I'm up a lot of pounds, 175, really putting on some weight.
Okay.
I had nowhere to go with that.
I have no idea what that means. I have no barometer for people's weight. So to me, that sounds fine.
Yeah. I guess the barometer is that, my appendix scar.
Yeah.
If I reach in, I can actually
no.
just eat a banana. There's just a whole,
And that's where you store your snacks.
yeah, and I keep little delicious snacks there.
Great.
We played a lot of Scrabble in my house. Got into some heated family arguments, and I hope you
About
all
Scrabble?
did. Oh yeah, my parents. I played. Because I played a 7-letter word.
Oh yeah, what was the word?
Airbags.
I saw that. What's the problem?
So the problem is that my parents are they're not familiar with the rules of the game, and I played airbags going down, and then I
Yes.
dropped that S
Correct.
on nail. I forgot what it was.
Yeah, something like that.
And they were like, you can't make 2 words at once. And I was like, what?
That's the whole point of the game.
I know. And they were like trying to argue that I was playing on 2 rows. And I was like, no, that's clearly 1 row. And I ended up having to read the Scrabble rules from the Scrabble website. And I obliterated them. And it turns out me and my brother are just destroying these people. And it's really great because my dad is super competitive and he cheats at games. And he
How do
even
you cheat at
cheated.
Scrabble? You can look it up. Like you can look up the best word to play.
Oh, Sarah. No, that is how I can see that's like how an ethical person would cheat. Like you go to the bathroom and you look up something real quick. No, my dad will like take a tile when no one's looking. He'll hold on to tiles from the last game. Like he is
Dad.
a cheater. And
Oh
he's
wow!
still-
So he really like he fully cheats.
he fully cheats.
All right, I
he
can
thinks it's
respect
funny.
the commitment.
Yeah, that's how he is, and he's still losing. That's the funniest part to me. Is he's a freaking
Whatever.
losing cheater.
That's hilarious. I would say let him.
Yeah, why not? But yeah, went to the old Arizona, saw some old friends. You know, it was good. It was a really good holiday.
That's great. I saw Little Women on Christmas Day.
Where just walking
The
around,
movie.
or
No, the movie. Yeah, just walking. I mean, I am one, so I looked in the mirror.
I think you are a little woman. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
true.
it is what it is.
You just stared at yourself in the mirror. Sounds like
It's
getting a
for
Merry
4
Christmas.
hours. It was more exciting than Greta Gerwig. Okay.
What is the premise of Little Women?
I mean, it's like that book that you read in like middle school or
I
high
didn't read
school
it.
about like there's like 4 or 5 sisters and they're poor, but they're not actually that poor, and they live in like the 1800s,
Yes,
and
yes.
the dad's away at war.
And the guy goes to the island, and all the little women try to capture him, and then he ends up like strapped down to the island.
That must have been your fanfic.
I don't know. That was a Gulliver's Travels joke because
Oh.
they're little women. Get it?
I've never seen that
You
or
know,
read it.
little Gulliver's Travels?
No.
I don't know anything about it besides what I just said, which is probably wrong.
I don't know.
So you know what? I don't really love. I get Charles Dickens is good at what he does. That sounds very Dickinsonian. It's like
It's
super
Laura
dark.
Ingalls Wilder. It's not dark. It's just
No?
it's very like Anne of Green Gables or
Oh,
like
okay.
Pride and Prejudice. It's like Jane Austen. It's like
I never got into that.
I actually was into like some of it, like Jane Austen, the Brontes, I couldn't get into, but like Anne of Green Gables, I loved. Little Women is just a slog. It's just
I
like
hate a slog.
and also the movie was so well done, but at the end of the day, it was still Little Women. I'm like, for the first hour, I was like, these bitches are all insufferable.
Yeah.
Like they were complaining about how poor they were, and then they had this full feast of Christmas dinner that they literally, or it was a breakfast, I don't remember.
Okay.
That at one point they bring over to the actual poor family who lives next to them. I'm like, how are you going to complain that you're poor? How? When you met the actual poor family.
Your definition of poor is someone who's unable to eat.
They were not poor. They were not rich,
Oh,
but
okay.
they had
They're
a huge
middle
house.
class.
They had a servant of sorts,
Oh, they
some
had a
kind of housekeeper.
servant?
Yeah,
Oh,
who was
okay.
cooking this giant feast. And I'm like, you have a giant feast.
Right.
This family's in a shack and they're dying of scarlet fever.
Oh God.
So anyway, yeah, it was cool. Timothy Chalamet is great, but whatever, you know.
You know, my brother does a lot of bits about how he looks like Timothy Chalamet. You ever seen my
I can
brother?
see
You
that
it?
now that you say that.
I don't know who Timothy Chalamet is. I never heard of him really.
He's just like one of those kids that appeared out of nowhere and is super famous,
He came out of the ocean.
pretty much.
Interesting.
And everyone's obsessed with him.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Do you have a celebrity crush?
Do I have a celebrity crush?
I feel like it's gonna be a rapper.
I mean, Future, always.
What about
up
Lil
there.
Wayne? Because you
Oh
always
yeah, I do love Lil Wayne.
Yeah.
That's a top. Yeah.
Natalie Portman was my first celebrity crush.
She's beautiful.
I also like Hermione a lot. I forget her real name.
Emma Watson.
Yeah.
Also in Little Women.
Oh, there
So
we
maybe
go.
you'd see it.
Yeah, she's little. Why is it called Little Women? It's kind of rude.
It's because the dad calls his daughters, they're like growing up, and he calls them his little women.
That's his little thing.
Which is,
Hi,
yeah.
Little Women.
Right, which is ridiculous because I'm like, you're not even in the book, sir. You are not there.
Oh, he's not a
Why
main
is his name?
character?
No, he's away at war like almost the whole time.
Wow. So did you have any
Craziness.
AITA drama this holiday?
Did I have? Actually, no. It was pretty tame. I do have a story for my friend though. So she was on the subway today,
Oh boy.
holding onto the pole, as you do.
As you do.
It was crowded.
Stay stable out there, folks.
Stay stable, balance. She was holding onto the pole like a normal person. So man goes, "Excuse me, can you move your arm?" And she was like, "What?" So she took her arm off, and then the guy offered his arm for her to hold on to it so she would balance on the subway. And that's it. She said, I was like, and how did everyone else respond? She was like, some guy kind of mouthed like, "You good?" to me. And she was like, she just kind of shrugged because it's like, what can you do?
What the heck?
Seriously.
That is the weirdest move I've ever heard of.
Yes. serious. Every time like I go on the subway, it just makes me question like the depths of humanity. This is really one such instance.
Yeah, it's a rough world, the subway. It's brutal. It really sucks.
So weird.
Yeah, I don't think I got into too many altercations. I mean, I almost got a little bit of white lady is going to talk to the manager about one thing.
What, on the subway? Who are you going to talk to?
I wanted donuts on Christmas Day.
Uh-oh.
And I called the donut store, and I could see on Yelp that they close in 20 minutes. But when I called, the first thing I said is, do you guys have any donuts? And I think the woman lied, and she said, no, but we're closing anyway. And then I was like, that didn't really make sense. The answer should have been, yes, we don't have any donuts, and we're closing anyway. So I was like,
she didn't follow the improv rules, and you're mad.
No, but I mean, she clearly had donuts. She was trying to say that she didn't, but she because she wanted to close up. And I got a little huffy, and then I was like, it's freaking Christmas. I don't need these donuts.
Exactly. Would you have got in there under 20 minutes?
Oh, easily. I mean, it's Casa Grande. Everything is like 7 seconds away via car.
Well, then I feel like you should have not even called and just tried to go.
I should have just done that, and I shouldn't. I have a lot of regrets about that. Now, my girlfriend did go in on some people.
Oh, boy.
We've been having a lot, because I'm going to Europe.
Really?
For the first time.
Oh, my gosh. Where are you going?
I'm going to Amsterdam, which is a city, actually, I learned. It's
you
not
think it was a country?
I thought it was a country for a while. It's a city in Holland or the Netherlands. And I'm actually a little bit upset that they have two names to their country. I'm looking to change that.
We're like America or the U.S.
Yeah, but it's the United States of America, so America is just a shortened version. Is it
I guess
the
that's
Holland
true.
the Holland of the Netherlands or some shit? So they need to fix that. But anyway, my girlfriend is in this horrific, protracted battle with this hotel chain because this is actually pretty messed up. She wanted to extend our hotel reservation.
I understand.
But the listener, Sarah, by 2 days. She calls, they change her brother's reservation because they assume that my girlfriend was her brother's wife.
Oh, that's weird.
And it was for like $2,000 or some obscene amount of money. My girlfriend is spending hours on the phone with these people. And today we sent like the ultimate email, and I was pretty proud of this.
They changed the brother's reservation. Could you not? So then what happened? Like you didn't end up.
They charged his card $2,000, so he was pissed.
Aha.
And then she like called and tried to work it out, and then they finally changed her reservation. But then they downgraded our room to some like inferior room. And so now we're staying in like a Dickinsonian basement or something horrible. No, anyway,
they're like, now we're only staying in a queen suite instead of a king.
That is literally it. But anyway, she's all upset. And so she sent me the email she was going to write, and it was about 57 paragraphs. And I said, babe, we really got to cut to the chase here.
You got to make it like 25 paragraphs tops.
Right. I wrote in a snarky joke about I wouldn't expect service this bad from a Hilton. She cut that. But
people in customer service don't understand your jokes.
No, it was a terrible joke. But I did want to share because I think, look, I really believe, guys, if you're having customer service interactions, what you need to do is you need to butter them up, and you need to say, you're not living up to the standards that I have that you have promoted yourself as having. So I feel that. And you can tell me, Sarah, if maybe I'm too arrogant about this, but I think I did a good job here. So I just want to share for you what I added to this email. I wrote, my cousin raved about this hotel, and I was very excited about my stay. Danny wrote that part. In fact, I still am. I added that. So she's still excited,
That's
right?
Good. Room for improvement.
I trust that once I am on your property, I will receive the 5-star experience. But after dealing with these issues without receiving even an apology, I cannot in good conscience recommend this hotel. While I will not be canceling my stay due to convenience, I am shocked that I would be treated this way by a hospitality institution of this caliber.
That's kind of funny. I mean, that's pretty good. I would say, like, maybe you left your cards on the table because, like, you're like, oh yeah, I'm still going to stay here, but I'm mad about it.
Well, we will do a review bomb. If they don't fix this, what we'll do is stay there. And they have picked a fight with a sleeping giant because Danny and I are extremely good at finding highly specific complaints. and we will obliterate them
Oh
on
my
the
God.
following services.
Love it.
TripAdvisor.
Oh,
Yelp,
TripAdvisor's a killer.
Google. I will create a domain name, thishotelsucks.com. I will win this war.
Oh my God. Wait, so what's the outcome? Nothing yet?
Nothing yet. We'll see what happens.
Can't wait. Keep me posted.
Just sent the email. All right, guys. We are going to make our first call here. This is exciting.
Woo!
To Karen H. Here goes nothing. Hello.
Hello.
Hey, how are you, Karen?
I'm good, Danny. How are you?
Very good. I'm here with Sarah.
Hi.
Hi, Sarah.
All right. You ready to do this?
I am.
Here we
So
go. AITA for telling my girlfriend that her phobia is ridiculous and she needs treatment.
Yikes.
Oh, no.
My 20 girlfriend, 21, has a very severe phobia of cold things. She refuses to touch anything that might be cold. God, I'm relating so hard to this. I hate coldness. Including the floor with her feet in winter, door handles, walls, cold water. Absolutely anything. She has to run a full bath of very hot water before she has a shower to, quote, make sure the floor isn't cold. She also will not eat cold food or drink cold drinks at any time of year. This means that she drinks almost entirely tea and coffee with the occasional hot juice. No, hot juice?
That sounds disgusting.
Ew. Meaning she's always anxious because of the sheer volume of caffeine she takes in. Okay, there's non-caffeinated teas. Anyway,
Also, just hot water with lemon.
there you go.
I'm worried for her dehydration.
She is.
One of my friends just literally lives on hot water with lemon, so there you go.
Yeah, she
Well,
probably has a great, really fast metabolism.
Your friend's a freak too. Let's not
Hey.
forget. She is okay going outside in the cold air, but as usual, won't touch anything cold. It's getting ridiculous to see her refusing to do literally anything because she might have to touch something cold. On Thursday, she left her slipper boots on the other side of the bedroom. She had socks on, but took them off when she got in bed. So she called in sick to work and stayed in bed all day.
Oh, God.
When I got back from work, she waited about 5.5 hours. She was desperate for the toilet, really hungry and distressed. Why didn't she call someone to help her? Her phone was on the window ledge, so it would be cold. I told her that this situation is ridiculous and she needs to get some therapy because she can't live like this. And it's really impractical for her to literally not go to work because of this. It's super annoying, and I don't know how she intends to get through life. She was extremely upset and told me that I'm an asshole for not taking her seriously. She said she realizes this is ridiculous, but she can't help it. I told her she could help it if she tried to get some help. AITA. Karen, what say you?
I remember saying this. I would say definitely he is not the asshole. I mean, she's not really the asshole either, so might be no assholes here. But I mean, she's gonna get fired. I don't know of a way that you like if this keeps happening. I don't know of a way she could explain this to an employer. Like, can't touch the cold floor, so
Yeah, that would not fly anywhere.
Yeah, he's gonna be
No.
like, "Oh, really? Were you playing a game of the floor is lava? Is
But the
that
floor
the
is
issue?"
ice. That's
Floor
the
is
game,
ice.
and that's your life. Ooh.
But they hired a 4-year-old. That's who plays lava games.
Hey, I played till I was 17. There ain't nothing wrong with it.
That's a fun game.
I'm gonna stop breastfeeding soon as well. It's right around the corner. I mean, I think this to me, I'm trying to see it as, I mean, it's obviously a very
Well,
neurotic.
I was going to say it's funny because the OP says that the girlfriend's mad that he's not taking her seriously. You're also not even taking this girl seriously and like not even trying.
I'm not.
You were giggling the whole time.
Well, it's funny, Sarah. It's okay to laugh at people who clearly have OCD. I don't know what this is. I mean, this is something.
I don't know. I mean, it seems
This
like
is
look,
beyond that.
I'm not going to armchair diagnose. What would your dad say, Danny?
My dad would say that I'm his least favorite son. Now, I think that, I mean, well, Sarah, it's hard. This is a weird phobia because cold things aren't scary. They're minorly uncomfortable.
Yes, but
Or very
phobias are
uncomfortable.
by definition not rational.
That's true.
Yeah.
I agree. I agree that it seems ridiculous, and to be honest, So I can't really fault the boyfriend for snapping and simply saying that it's ridiculous and she needs to get some therapy. I don't think that's inherently bad. Like, he wasn't saying, oh, you need some therapy, like, as an insult. It's genuinely, you cannot live like this.
Right. That's true. I mean, she can't, like, and that's a good point. He didn't come at her. He didn't say, like, you're stupid or something like that. He didn't attack her character. He said this is a ridiculous situation, which to say it's a wild distortion of anything acceptable because no employer is going to be like, oh, your phone was on a ledge and it was cold. Yeah, you don't have to come in if that happens.
Because also I was thinking of all the ways that she could have still like done her things. Like I was like trying to rationalize out of this phobia. I'm like, oh, instead of running the hot water, why don't for the shower just get flip flops? Or like, oh, okay, if your phone's on the window ledge and you can't reach it, like throw your blankets on the floor. Like,
yeah, she could have made a bridge.
Right, but she's not thinking clearly because she's so trapped in this phobia.
Yeah, this sounds like something an actual psychiatrist needs to look at. And you have to think about, I mean, he's clearly, I think, is taking it seriously enough that he wants her to get help. He's telling her to go get help. So he's actually, I think, taking it seriously. So I think the line of you're not taking this seriously doesn't make sense.
That's a good point. He actually is grasping how serious this is. He's just not coddling her.
Yeah, you're right. She's the one who's not actually accepting that this is a serious detriment to literally her livelihood. Like, she could easily lose her job. She's the one who's not taking it seriously.
Ooh, you're right.
I'm surprised she hasn't lost the job already. Like, true. I mean, this can't be the first time that this has happened. She's like, I can't go because, like, I mean, what if it was like your sister's wedding and then all of a sudden it's cold? Like, can't come because. That's a good point.
What do you do with air conditioning? Like, I don't know.
You could ruin your life with this.
She must suffer in the summer. I mean, we don't know where she is, obviously, but I mean.
Oh yeah, I cut it out, but they're in England.
Oh, they're in England?
Yeah.
It can still get pretty hot there in the summer.
Yeah.
I mean, I do relate a little bit with this. I hate the cold. My girlfriend will get mad at me because I make it 80 degrees in here, and then I like to sit in my underwear. I don't know why. I like to pretend I'm on a beach or something.
Oh, my God. Because Danny's not paying for the heat.
I have a space heater that I keep at work now, but I used to keep it in our bathroom because I don't like to... Like, I hate when I get out of the shower and it's all cold. Ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, my apartment, like, my heat's already in it, and because it's in Newark, like, they have all these tenant laws because they pay for the heat, so they have to keep it cranked at, like, 75 minimum from, like, October to April, and it's ridiculous. So she left my apartment.
It's kind of the same in New York.
Is it the problem where it's too hot?
Yeah, it's just, like, I have it on the lowest possible setting, but it's still, like, too hot. Like, no flannel, PJs for me, and, like, sometimes I have the window open when it's 35 out.
Yep. I had the same problem when I lived in East Williamsburg. My apartment would get to be like 82, and I had a lofted bed, so it was just a scorcher because all the hot air rises, and it would just make me so upset because then I had a window, but it was to an inner column, so like I had to blast the AC in the middle of winter, and I was like, this is such a weird modern problem.
Yeah, it is.
Yes.
So, Sarah, you wrote here that the top comments didn't have verdicts, so you chose randomly. Well, Jamie F. wrote, if the phone was on the ledge, how did she call into work?
Lawyer. It's actually a really good question.
Still, YTA, there is no logic in a phobia, which is kind of what you said there, Sarah. So minimizing it is never going to help her. Try to be understanding and help her get help, which I feel like he ultimately is. I mean, if all I can really fault him for it, and I wouldn't even say it's a fault, is like, he's 20 years old, so how the heck is he supposed to know? But it's like, this should have been a warning sign. This should have been something to discuss maybe at an earlier point, but like, how could you know?
I mean, I think and maybe I'm just leaping, but I think when she's saying YTA, it's because he didn't like approach this with the best of care. You know, he could have sat her down and been like, listen, I'm worried about you, but that doesn't bother me this time.
Right.
No.
Right, this is an intervention for your addiction to warmth.
I think it sounds like she's kind of used to people just dealing with it for, however long, like 24 years, however old she is. And just, he's the first one, I guess, to be like, no, you gotta take care of this. This isn't normal. We gotta do something.
Absolutely. And I mean, I don't want to armchair diagnose Sarah, so don't come at me and stab me with the knife you carry.
Yeah, totally.
But I will say, if this does read to me a little bit OCD, but it also kind of reads like someone who might be trying to cope with this. Like, this is an attention tool that they use. This is a way they can manipulate things. I don't know. It's a very odd phobia, very uncommon phobia.
It's uncommon.
Samantha M. writes, she's aware of her problem and choosing not to seek help. At a certain point, you have to make the decision to either stick it out with her and encourage her to get help or cut your losses and leave. I mean, I think that's valid.
It's kind of like what NTA leaning.
Does it say how long they've been together?
I don't know. Let's go
think
back.
So. I mean, they're so young. How long could it possibly be? 20 and 21, they are.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't say.
But Sarah, I also, and not to again armchair D, but I think the fact that
don't
she
say
was
that.
helpless, armchair D, is that's what your grandpa has. Anyway,
I quit.
that's fair. Isn't there a helplessness, Sarah? She's acting like this bed is an island. Like, she could have laid down the blankets. She could have used the pillows as slippers and kept her feet warm. Like, there were actually solutions to this problem.
Yes.
So I feel there's a bit
Yes.
of learned helplessness in this behavior.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know about that. I would just say I feel like isn't what they say in psychology, like, if your problem is interfering with your life, then it's time to get help. It's clearly
Sure.
interfering with her life. Time to get help.
Fair enough. Top Reddit comment by Screwed for GP writes, NTA, if this phobia is affecting her ability to work, maintain social relationships, and even go to the toilet, she needs help. You sound very, very patient here.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about the bathroom.
It's impairing her from using the bathroom. I mean, that is wild.
That's bad. Like, that's really bad.
Yeah. Like, getting to Pens is not worth dealing with this.
No.
I'm sorry.
But what I will say is she the asshole, or do we have a no assholes here?
Oh,
I would
that's a
say
good
no
point.
assholes.
Yeah.
Because I don't think I'm not going to, I mean, she is objectively, like, wrong in the sense that, like, yes, her fears are unfounded right now, but I wouldn't say that she's the asshole here either.
I agree. I mean, I'm definitely going with a no assholes here. How about you, Karen?
Yeah, I would say no assholes here. I mean, there is maybe perhaps a learned helplessness, but I think it's just her not knowing. She clearly doesn't know how to deal with this problem. So, yeah, kind of.
Yeah, I say the same thing. No assholes here. I can't believe we agree. Wow.
We all
2020.
agree.
Whoa.
What a magical moment. Well, we have some time here, Karen. Do you want to bring up any assholes in your life? Any stories? Do you want to talk about yourself? The floor is yours.
I mean, I brought this up to a couple of my friends, and apparently I'm the one that's kind of the asshole.
Yes, I've been there. That's my whole life. Go on.
Pretty much.
Yeah, so I'm in law school, so I'm up in New Jersey. I've had a group of friends I've known on the East Coast for about 3 or 4 years, and we've been working. We all have pretty good jobs, and then I go to school, and obviously when you go to school, you kind of don't have as much money as when you make a full-time job. Which, I mean, knew that going in, totally fair.
Yep.
But like, my friends didn't want to slow down like kind of our activities, and sometimes it was kind of hurting things. And then one of my friends got fired from his job, and now everyone's bending over backwards canceling things because he can't afford them. And then I got annoyed and said something, and they were like, well, you went to school, that's totally different.
Is it though?
So yeah, that's how I was apparently.
Let's drill down a bit. You said you got annoyed. What did you actually say or do to show that?
I mean, I just said that, it doesn't seem fair that, like, there was no considerations made for me that I might have some issues, like going to fancy New York restaurants. Because, I mean, you guys live in Manhattan, like in the New York area, you know how expensive it can get.
Oh, sure do. Danny goes to the fancy ones. I don't.
Yes. Now, okay, so, and I'm sorry to throw this at you. I believe this is a problem, not because your point is invalid, but because you've chosen to bring your case at this time. Because your poor friend just lost his job, which is really hard.
Right.
And then now you're like, well, don't be nice to him. I also have a hard thing, which is totally valid, by the way. But you should have just confronted your friends earlier and been like, hey, just so you guys know, I'd really appreciate some consideration.
But it sounds like you did, and they were like, well, you chose to go to school. This is your problem.
Well, but she raised the point now. Isn't that true?
Yeah.
She raised the point only when
okay.
this poor sap lost his job.
So you never said anything like while this stuff was happening?
I mean, there were a couple times I maybe indirectly said it, but I mean, I probably could have done a better job at that.
Okay.
I mean, look, it's hard for me to call you an asshole. You're a listener to the pod.
Yeah.
But I think you should have said something. And, you know, and
What I will say, though, is like when you bring up a grievance with someone, like you need to come with receipts and examples. And like it doesn't sound like she had such a clear parallel to draw until this happened.
Right.
that's a fair point. But I also think that, you know, a lot of people are afraid to confront. And we always say on this pod, I think more than we say almost any other of our little phrases, it's like you should have just said something. You know? That's it.
Yep.
I can't do
I'm not
it though,
gonna come.
Karen.
I know. I'm not gonna
can't.
come for you because I totally think like what you're saying is true. I can't find the lie, basically, in what you're
Right.
saying. So I'm here for it.
I'm gonna give you a no assholes here, but you are a bigger asshole than the guy who lost his job. This guy.
Kevin.
Right. I mean,
I don't know why
there's no
his
way
name is
he's
Kevin.
like, he's not the asshole. Like, I would never
No.
call him that. But.
Your rich friends are the assholes. Make them pay more in taxes.
But this is a good point, you know, and I'm happy you brought it because people do need to be aware of their friends and their friends' finances. And like, look, I have a friend who I happen to know is drowning in debt.
Ooh.
And he's actually drowning in water. And so I handed him a stick and I got no. But anyway, we went out and, you know, I got his meal. And I wasn't trying to be weird about it. I didn't make a big stink about it. I mean, now I'm making a big stink because I'm
Right.
telling you guys. But, you know, it's the kind of thing where it's like, look, I know that money means way more to him than it does to me. And I think people should do that. And they should be considerate and be thoughtful about it.
Yeah, one of my friends one of my good friends was in law school and was just like, I mean, she was always just like bringing it up, like harping on it just to be like, hey, I'm so sorry, just as a reminder, like I can't do this because I'm poor because I'm in law school. So I'd be like, all right, no big deal. Like we'll go to this place that's cheap. We'll do this thing that's free.
That's super nice of you.
Yeah, I like cheap stuff anyway. Works for both of us.
You know what that does? I think it's just I'm frustrated because like we usually just because of our jobs and like where we all live and stuff because they all live mostly in central or northern New Jersey and then we go over and it's like January like every plan we had up in like since like November has been scrapped. And I'm like,
that's annoying.
Now
and then nobody's like really like no one's come up with a new idea, but at the same time it's like I understand, like it's like there's both sides, but I'm like, wait a minute. So,
I don't know why your whole group should be canceling plans just because of this one guy. All the plans.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's always been something. I'm like, why is it that like we always do stuff that's like, you know, that has to be out and cost money? I'm like, one of my friends hasn't even been to my apartment, and I've lived in that apartment since I started school a year and a half ago.
Wow. Yeah, this could be a good opportunity for you guys to like get together and do some cheap free stuff, like do some potlucks, game nights.
Scrabble.
We love Scrabble.
Now, we got to wrap up here, Karen, but I'm curious,
Yes.
what kind of law do you seek? Are you seeking to prosecute assholes? What's the deal?
Probably non-criminal law. There's a lot with that. So I think probably litigation. So I'll do it. I'll, go after assholes on the civil side.
Love it.
There we go. I love a civil asshole more than a criminal asshole. All right, Karen, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, like, I don't really want to have people, like, coming after me in my car. Although even family law, I have a friend that does family law, and after he won a case, he had to be escorted out by cops.
Woo!
They were
I'll
worried
tell
about
my
him
friend who
getting
does family
shots.
law that.
Yeah, so not doing that.
All right. Well, thank you so much for being on the show, and a big
Of course.
NAH for your situation.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Kevin
Hello.
Hendricks.
Danny Vega.
Oh my God, the man,
Wow.
the myth, the legend.
It's an honor.
Here I am.
Wow.
Is that a good enough intro for you? Here I am.
That's very Kevin. It's so
Love
on
it.
point.
How you been? You making a podcast?
We're making a podcast.
Yes,
We've
we're doing
already
a thing.
couple people not showing up to the call-in show, so we're happy we could get a hold
Yeah.
of you. All right, well, we chose a fun situation for you because you're fun. Kevin, for anyone who doesn't know, Kevin is like a legendary member of the Facebook group. He posts the funniest responses.
So good.
Everyone loves him.
Sometimes
Aw.
off topic, but you gotta love it anyway.
That's fair. I think
And Kevin, you have your own podcast. Is that correct?
my main project right now is a role-playing game podcast called Knives at Night, where we do heists every week. It's like it's a fun game. And then I also do Chatimals, which is the world's only comedy and nature podcast.
I love that.
I gotta listen to that.
I love
Comedy
it.
and nature.
I want to know what's happening. Danny, you have a joke about a horse.
Oh,
kind of.
My horse joke? Yeah,
Yeah.
I love a horse. How do you
I
feel
think
about
a horse
horses?
How do I feel about horses?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. They're big and mean. And people like them too much.
Oh my God! You think horses are overrated, Kevin? I got a bone to pick with you.
I mean, only in the sense that they're one of the most highly rated things of all time.
That's
If
true.
you look at art as a cohort, it's like 40% horse.
That's true. Art is
I love this
40%
statistic.
horse. AITA for refusing to pay for quote unquote my part of the pizza. A few
Oh,
friends.
boy.
You ready for this?
Yeah.
A few friends and I went out to a party and got drunk. 3 of us headed back to sleep at Jamie's. Okay, I guess we're all supposed to know who Jamie is.
Fucking Jamie every time with the pizzas.
I was pretty out of it and passed out on the couch. I sort of remember one of them asking me, "Hey, OP, what do you want on the pizza?" I said, "Cheese," and went back to sleep.
Oh.
I woke up and 2 large pizzas they ordered were gone. They were like, "Yeah, when they got here, you were asleep," and asked me to pay for a third of the pizza since I, quote, helped order the pizza. I was really confused by this and said I was not going to pay third for food that they ate. They were like, quote, "It's not our fault you were asleep. You helped order the pizza." I would be happy to pay for it if I got even one piece the morning after. I asked how the 2 of them, 2 small girls, little women, I might add, Sarah,
Jeepers.
even managed to eat 2 large pizzas. And Sarah, oh my God, what's
What
name
is
was
with
actually
this
Sarah?
episode?
Sarah was like, quote, "Well, Matthew helped. Matthew is Jamie's boyfriend." I said, freaking Jamie every time.
Wait, Jamie. Okay. God, there's so many characters happening.
I said, "Then, well, Matthew should pay for his part." They got angry and said, "You helped order it. We would have gotten something else if you had it." I refused to pay still because I didn't want to pay for food that someone else had eaten without even saving me a little. AITA.
All right. So this is why splitting food is wrong, okay? Because you need to have a relationship with people where you can count on them to like get it next time or not worry about it. Like this is some petty stuff. And we have a thing in this society. This is a society. And we have this thing where you're like, "Hey, should we leave some for someone for some reason?" And we ordered this pizza. Passed out as one of those reasons. We're like, "Oh, should we eat this last piece? Nah, we should save some for somebody." This passed out guy. I don't know. I think this is stone cold. Not the OP.
Stone Cold OP is NTA, and they are. That's where you're leaning.
I'm thinking that I could hear our.
I would try to play devil's advocate, but I can't. These people are just cheap. They're
Yes.
trying to charge someone who didn't even eat this pizza because you expressed a preference of topping. First of all, bad topping, just cheese. Come on, get a little fancier with it.
Cheese.
I would argue that
I
cheese
mean-
isn't a topping.
You're right. It's not. It's just a type of
Cheese?
pizza.
No, it's not even a
Hang
type of
on.
pizza. Cheese
It's
is
just standard.
part of
No,
pizza.
no, no. Sarah, you cracked the case. They do need to charge him because he's the one who demanded that they order a child's pizza. Cheese pizza is gross and stupid. And if they ordered bad pizza on this idiot's behalf, then yeah, he deserves to pay for 1/3 of a pizza, which is a sanction of about $8, probably, right?
You're
That's
kind of
so
right. Seems fair. Asshole tax, $8.
Now,
it's
my-
like child taste tax.
My breakdown of this is that they are trying to, and I'm sorry, but I have to say this, have their pizza and eat it too.
Boo.
Hey-o.
That's fair. But listen, you can't
No, I didn't hate it. I'm not
eat
lying.
something and then charge someone for like what? Because they ordered it? Well, you ate it.
Yeah, I'm going to charge you
Right.
for the dinner I make later. Like, what kind of logic is this?
What? Wait, you're going to charge me for the dinner you make later?
Yeah, I don't know. It's the same logic as this.
You mean the dinner you eat later? It would
You
make
know what I
sense to charge
mean.
you for a dinner you make. That's called a restaurant, Sarah.
No, not that you're eating it.
Although, if you take somebody to a restaurant and they order an appetizer for the table and they're like, hang on, got a dip. Just because they don't eat any of that appetizer doesn't mean that they're like scot-free. Right?
Yes. Well, they
Interesting.
ordered it and then they left on their own volition.
Oh, yeah. Then you got to
Right.
throw some money to whoever is putting this all on their card later.
But I still think you'd be
That's
kind of a
true.
douchebag if you tried to charge them after everyone at the table ate the whole thing.
Right.
Because it's
I
kind of
mean-
like if you ate it and you enjoyed it, then why are you going to chase this person for
You're
their
right.
$4?
I mean,
Yes,
this is a
that's-
very specific situation that we've made up.
Right. and as always, the gracious thing to do is just eat the $8. Like,
Yes.
dude.
But in this case, OP should not eat the $8 because, like, he shouldn't have to fork it
Right.
up in the first place. Fork it up.
Right.
That's not it, is it? I don't know. Whatever.
fork it over.
Fork it
There we
over.
go.
Yeah.
Funky Pluckett writes, what the hell does helped order it mean? Did you pick up the phone and order it? No. Then you didn't do
Maybe.
shit. Your friends are weird as shit.
Here's my hypothesis. I think that
Yeah.
Jamie's boyfriend is refusing to pay for his share of the pizza. So
Oh,
we're like,
absolutely.
all right, we're just going to make
Yeah.
OP do it.
Oh man, Jamie's boyfriend, famous deadbeat.
Matthew,
Of course
come
he
on.
is. Matthew, Jamie. I mean, it doesn't help that all of his friends have douchebag names.
Right.
Sarah?
It's almost too on the
You're right.
nose.
Sarah with an H, though. Let the record reflect.
Sarah with an H sucks.
We hate her. All right, that's fine.
Yeah. Every
I'll-
time somebody gets to the H part, I'm like,
Shrug __ writes, NTA, they didn't save you any. You don't go into a restaurant,
Yep.
here we go, Sarah, and pay for the waiter to come out with an empty plate. Like, quote, sorry, I was hungry, but you ordered it and it wouldn't have been
Holy
made if you
crap.
hadn't ordered it. That's some pretty dumb BS.
Oh, if I was a
that
waiter,
person
I'm
made
doing
up an
that.
even more insane situation than I could come up with. That's beautiful.
I
an
mean,
honor.
this would be sheer anarchy. I would murder this waiter.
What does that prove? It's like, yeah, you don't go into a restaurant and order an empty plate. Of course I don't. That's nothing like anything.
That's nothing like anything. Substick
Oh my
count
God.
is coming for the friends. They write NTA, get better friends. I mean, I feel these are a bunch of college kids. They're probably drunk, and you know, pizza
Yeah.
when you're drunk, it goes down like water.
Yeah.
However, is this like the next morning when this is happening, or they're all still drunk?
I
It's
guess
hard-
you're
it's hard to
right.
Wake him
tell.
up to be like, give us your money, because
Oh.
that's an NTA. I love imagining that situation. Though.
That would be
Wake up.
terrible.
We smeared this grease on your face. Now cough up the dough.
I'm gonna start doing that to people. Just kidding.
To correct
man.
some asshole writes, NTA, either you save it for you or they wake you
Yeah.
up. None of
Yeah.
this, quote, we consumed your order but still charge you bullshit. Jesus. Fuck
Yep.
Jamie, Sarah, and Matthew.
I mean,
Bingo.
yeah. I see that.
It sounds like a progressive version of the Bible. Like, we're going to make two of the gospel writers women. And one's named Fucked. Fuck Jamie, Sarah, Matthew. I mean, look, I don't think there's any way to defend the friends. It's like cheap. It's just, there's no way around it. You can't.
yeah.
I gotta come back to ordering cheese pizza. That does make you a little bit the A. That's bad terrorism.
It's true. I mean, cheese pizza
Pizza
is
is
so
food.
bland. And what if
Yeah.
it was thin crust? Cheese pizza that's thin crust. I mean, that has like no nutritional value.
Come on, guys. No pizza
Asking for
is
cheese
ever
crackers and
bad.
ketchup.
Cheese
Cheese crackers and ketchup.
Now that is a Kevin Hendricks comment live.
Classic.
He could do it live, people.
My God.
That's
No
right.
wonder you have
You
like
think I
6
spent-
podcasts.
You think I spend time thinking of these awful things?
Bauhaus 420 writes, NTA, LMAO, cheese isn't even like a special topping or anything. That's a basic pizza. You didn't eat any of it. They did, so you don't have to pay. If they wanted you to pay for some of it, they should have left some for you. So everyone's echoing the same message. But now, Kevin, I'd like to pose a puzzle to you.
Hang on. Can I just say that Bauhaus is in the opposite of the right there? Cheese is a very specialty pizza. He's ordering like the ultimate. It's like trying to do the platonic ideal of pizza and completely missing the point.
Yeah.
Like a cheese-only pizza is a specialty item in that it is designed to please no one.
I don't know. I think you're taking one of your Kevin Hendricks stances. I got to push back. What if this pizza was like anchovy, jalapeno, pineapple? Then what are you saying, Kevin?
I'm saying that is equally as offensive as just cheese. Like one topping only, maybe a pepperoni, a classic crowd pleaser, like a single topping pepperoni pizza or a sausage pizza. That's a crowd pleaser. Cheese, nah. Cheese is a special diet pleaser. That's like, oh, somebody's gluten-free and somebody's vegetarian, so we need to get this pizza that everyone will hate. Then we'll all decide that we hate the pizza place and never patronize it again. Ugh.
I see no lies here.
All right. Well, I think we all agree, unless Kevin is really serious about how much he hates cheese. AITA.
Maybe.
Okay.
That's true. Maybe I'm bordering on an ESH because of this cheese pizza.
Oh my God.
So I think
I think we can go with y'all. NTA, indeed.
NTA and the other people are. Now, Kevin, we have a few minutes here. Do you want to tell about yourself, talk about a situation? The floor is yours.
Well, I was on Jeopardy last week. Does anybody have a good story like that?
What?
Yeah. I was on national television.
Strangely aggressive way to open the story.
How do we not
We literally
know?
wanted you to tell a story, and you're like, does anybody want to challenge me?
Yeah. I don't know. I know I'm like the third caller on the show. I didn't hear everybody before. Maybe someone's like, I just won the Olympics with my hair.
Someone else was the other person who beat you on Jeopardy.
Oh my God, Karen, no! Always destroying me. No, I did. I lost to somebody who's now won 7 games.
Oh my God. So
this is so exciting. I need to watch.
So nice to me, like the worst.
Now, how did it feel? I mean, was it exciting? Was old Trebek there? What went down?
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, real deal. Trebek was there. I got to tell a story about how I met him when I was a baby.
Wow.
It was so fun. It was a dream come true, and I got to be on the TV.
Wait, how did you get on Jeopardy?
So there's an online test, and then there is a written test that you take in person with an audition.
Oh my God.
Then you go in the contestant pool, and for the next 18 months, they have the option to call you and be like, come out to LA on your own money.
Oh,
what?
boy.
And you go out there, and you play Jeopardy, and you get your heart broken in front of all of your family.
Damn, so you're just trying to break even for your travel expenses on Jeopardy.
Basically, yeah, I had an extra day in LA because I had to be there for 2 days in case I was a once-in-a-generation Jeopardy talent. And, like, I seriously was just like, I just lost. I have so much less money than I was thinking I would at this point.
Oh, my gosh.
What do I do in Los Angeles? 15 hours, because my flight was at 11. Because I was like, oh, after Jeopardy, I'll go do something. And I'm like, no, it costs $50 to Uber anywhere here. So my whole second day, I just walked to a theater that was near my hotel and watched 3 movies in a row.
Oh my God.
It was brutal. It was the darkest night of the soul I've ever lived.
Honestly, it's true. There's nothing better to do in LA.
Now, can you share any questions that you got right?
I mean, yeah, the whole thing is aired on the... what did I get right? Oh, my favorite one was there was a category that was like 11, 12, and 13 letter words that start with K.
Oh God.
And they were like the bureaucratic nightmare could be described as this word referring to the last name of a Dutch author. And I was like, Buzz, what is Kafkaesque?
Wow.
And the whole place was like, oh, nobody can actually use that word. Get out of here, witch.
Awesome. I feel like I need to watch this. Is this on Hulu?
I don't think there's any good place to watch it. Like I have but yeah, like old episodes of Jeopardy is like a weird Confederate money thing. It's hard to get.
What? Well, that's incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, you win.
Fun story.
You win the episode.
Yay.
Now, when you were taking the online tests and stuff like that, were you like, this could really happen? Like, I have a knack for this, or where were you?
Kind of. I took the online test. I remember after the 50th question, I felt like I had gotten enough of Jeopardy, which was like a really douchey thing. So I immediately got really anxious about it and forgot. Then they got the email that was like, come be on Jeopardy. And I was like, oh, okay. So I went and did the audition, and I was like, cool. There's now like an 8% chance that I might be on Jeopardy sometime in the next 2 years. So I'm still telling like nobody. And then I get a call at work. They're like, oh, we want you on the show. You got to come out next month. I was like, holy shit, any of that was real?
That's so cool.
That was, that's sort of the roller coaster.
How do you think of a good story to tell right before Double Jeopardy?
Well, they send you a huge list of prompts. It's like, do you collect anything? Have you been your deal? Come on. But I had one in the tank from like my mom always said that I should tell this story on Jeopardy because it was when I was 28 days old. Alex Trebek was the Grand Marshal of the air show parade in my hometown.
Oh my God.
So he rode by in a convertible while I was a little baby. And I was like, do you remember that? And he was like, yeah, actually, that weekend I got to fly in the Wright Flyer and I flew an F-16. I was like, oh, that's awesome. You got to fly the first plane and the best plane. He was like, oh, yeah. So I turned it around. I asked Alex Trebek a question, and that really perked him up. It was great. I think I made this.
I love that.
What an incredible story. Well, it's been great having you on the show. I do have to end this with a final Jeopardy question for you.
Ooh, okay.
13-character commenter known for his zany comments in our Facebook group.
Who is Kevin Hendricks?
Boom! It's been great having you, Kevin. We'll see you on Facebook, baby.
All right, let me know when you want me back on. I'll come and yell.
We'd love to have you. Well, Jenna, it's so great to have you here on the pod. Now, you were unique. You requested the situation beforehand. Can you talk us through a little bit your process?
Well, my process is I don't like to look like a buffoon when we're going to listen. So I wanted to look at what I was going to talk about. And it's a good thing because that's one of the scenarios that I didn't read or comment on before. Because I usually go in the Facebook group and figure out where I can say my opinion, and I comment on a lot of them, and I didn't do this one. So I was glad I knew ahead of time.
Fantastic.
Love it.
I love your thoroughness. Here we go. AITA for jumping out of a bathroom window to avoid my mom's attempt at forcing a reunion between me and my ex-fiance. And here's the kicker. By you, Holiday A-hole throw. You'll love to hear it, people. I had been dating my ex-fiance, Sarah. Sarah, is this a joke?
No, I swear to God. I just chose them all from the group.
Jenna, 3 of the situations have had Sarah
with an H
in them. It's crazy.
Actually, wow. Even when I'm not doing a theme, I do a theme.
This is amazing.
Danny hates my themes, but the themes will win out.
I had been dating my ex-fiance, Sarah, with an H, for 4 years. We had been planning to get married in November 2020, but I found out at the start of this month that she cheated on me. I broke it off. Being cheated on is, in my mind, completely emasculating and humiliating. I don't know if it's emasculating. I don't know if I buy that. We'll come back.
Wow, I'm surprised. Okay.
So I never told anyone that was the reason we broke up. For obvious reasons, Sarah also didn't tell people we broke up because she cheated. Some people have quote-unquote blamed me for the breakup, including my mom. Wow. They just see that I dumped her out of the blue. I've gone very strict no contact with Sarah. Something I've thought about myself.
Whatever, same.
She has been talking with my mom and has convinced her that if we could talk one more time, we would be able to reconcile. My mom has been applying hardcore pressure on me to talk with Sarah, but I've explained that there's no chance we will ever get back together. So tonight, I go over to my mom's place because she's hosting family for Christmas Eve. I'm there for a bit when the doorbell rings and I can see it's Sarah. My mom says she invited Sarah so we can work this out in the spirit of the holidays. What the F?
I hate that shit.
I'm pissed now because the only way to explain my side of the story is to tell everyone I was cheated on. Complete humiliation in front of my whole family. So as my mom goes to the front door, I go into the bathroom. My mom starts knocking on the door saying that I need to come out and talk to my ex like an adult. I say, F it, kick out the window screen, get in my car, and go home. My mom called a short while ago saying she's cutting ties with me over my behavior. She's really fixated on me jumping out of a window. And that Sarah will always be like a child to her. My sister called me after to ream me out for ruining Christmas. I broke down and told her that Sarah cheated on me, which is why I dumped her and didn't want to see her under any circumstances. She called me a big asshole who was lying to cover for myself. Am I really in the wrong? Wild.
No.
Jenna, take the floor. What say you?
Oh my gosh, not the a-hole on this one. And like the balls on Sarah. I can't even believe this girl doing all of this stuff and then showing up on Christmas Eve. Like, man, she emasculated him. I can see why he felt that way, because that would be humiliating. And I'm furious at his family for this guy. And usually I have to like think about things a little bit, and I go back and forth, and I have empathy for both sides. And on this one, I am just fully, I don't know this guy's name, but I'm team this guy.
Yeah.
So
I agree with that. I mean, I guess the emasculating thing, I'm just trying, I don't know.
I'm actually surprised that you didn't agree with this, but that's like a good surprise. But if I'm following his logic, I think his reasoning is like, oh, I couldn't please my woman, so she cheated on me. Now I'm emasculated.
I would
He's
never have
cuckolded.
that thought. Yeah, if like one of my friends was like, hey, my girlfriend cheated on me, I would be like, oh my God, what a piece of shit she is. I would never be like, you not strong man enough.
Thank God. Oh my gosh. Whew, just when I was starting to lose my faith.
yeah, like kind of recently though, there was people being called cuck
Yeah.
just because they're blaming men when women cheat on them, which is not cool. And I would never do that. But I can see why his mind might have gone there. And like, look, this guy might not have had a very hard life, which good for him, is not my place to judge that. But this could have been the worst thing that ever happened to him, right? So it's traumatic. And maybe he didn't deal with it the way I would have. Like, I think he kind of could have done some great, like he could have gotten so much sympathy sex. It looks like he just dumped some girl randomly. Like, he's not going to probably get a new girlfriend with that story. So he didn't handle it maybe ideally, but I've had trauma before and I also didn't handle it ideally.
Right.
You can't blame someone for that necessarily. You want your family at the very least to be on your side. And I can see why he didn't come to them when he was feeling vulnerable. Like, his sister saying that he ruined Christmas is terrible.
Well,
yes, I just think it's sad.
I see his family's side, though. I mean, I think what's so paradoxical here is that he was being so classy. Even though you didn't really mean to be, because to him this was all about the shame. It was out of shame, yeah. It was out of shame.
Oh, yeah.
But it's very classy for someone to cheat on you and then for you to not out them as a cheater, because you better believe I'm going like code. I'm going to the Times.
Fucking earth. Yep.
Exactly.
Oh, me too. Like any opportunity for like pure spite, I am just excited for. I'm like, please cheat on me so I can ruin your day.
Honestly, I'm almost there with you.
He was class act until then, but again, I don't know what they thought would happen. Like, what's a good thing to happen? There's no good scenario here.
Yeah, they tried to like play Parent Trap with him. Basically, they're like, if we just get them in a room.
Yeah.
I mean, the mother sounds like a big fat narcarino to me. She is, what is this move? It's so domineering. It's so weird. Like, even if he dumped her out of nowhere, it's like, so he has a right to dump her. I mean, come on.
It's like you're choosing your fake daughter over your actual son. What's gone wrong in this relationship?
And like, what kind of son did you raise then if you don't trust him like that? Like, that's your work.
That's a good point. And it's sad that the whole family is against him too. Like, the sister doesn't even believe him when he finally breaks down. Like, she's just like, oh, you're lying to cover your ass.
That said, now, I don't think this makes him an asshole at all. But I do think that OP's problem is that he just won't come to terms with what happened. And he'll literally jump out of a window to avoid that. All he needed to do was stand his freaking ground and say, she needs to go, she's a cheater, and have the big showdown that he's been refusing to have for months and months and months. I don't know how long it's been.
I totally feel you. But I also feel like when you actually have to come face to face with your ex, it's a whole different ballgame. And like, it just, all those emotions like rush up, and like, I see why you would flee. You know, like, you see that person and you just want to vomit.
Right.
or run away.
Right.
Fight
So-
or flight. It totally kicks in.
There we go.
It's true.
Yeah, like, and I was thinking about it too. I'm like, okay, so in stressful situations, I always in my mind, I'm like, I'm gonna be a hero, and then so I have a plan, and then I hear like a really small noise, and I crumple to the floor just because, like, in the moment, I am not as cool as I am in my head, and it doesn't always work out how I would like it to. So I can understand somebody being like, oh God, what do I do? And just like literally busting out a window. Maybe extreme, but I get it.
Sarah C. writes, NTA for not wanting contact with your ex, and not even TA for not wanting to discuss why. That's personal, and you're under no obligation to share it, although it might help, which I think is spot on. Like, in this case, it has been an extreme detriment, this concealing.
It would have helped.
Oh, for sure. For sure. It looks like it's kind of like a movie where we're all like, dude, just tell everyone, like, you're in the right here, but you're ruining it.
Right. And yeah, and he's ruining it, and he's making himself seem even more wrong when he says nothing. It's so weird. It makes him seem shady.
Right.
Yeah, it does.
Sarah goes on, but YTA for seeing your partner's faithfulness as a mirror on your own masculinity. Oh boy, this sounds like a Sarah thing to say. I mean, my Sarah, S-A-R-A Sarah.
Aw.
There's too many Sarahs in this episode, Sarah. What Sarah's what? And knocking out window screens to avoid dealing with it. Just walk out the door like a normal person. You're handling it poorly. So is mom. Use your big kid words. True.
Yeah. I mean, he's like wrong for thinking that, but I'm not going to say that it's like a YTA situation. Like,
Yeah,
it's just like, yeah, you shouldn't think that it's not productive or helpful.
it's toxic masculinity.
I guess you're right. Oh my
mean,
God,
it's-
Danny, you learned.
I'm learning. I mean, it's a very strange view because it's like, I just don't think cheating is, I guess cheating does come from a place of dissatisfaction, or it can, but like,
But it's not sexual dissatisfaction always.
well, I mean, is masculinity purely sexual gratification?
I guess when I was
Like,
thinking
yeah.
emasculating, I was thinking of like your dick. So that's kind of where I went with that line of reasoning.
I mean, yeah, I just think it's a really weird, there's so many reasons people can cheat. They could also cheat because they're bored or someone hot hit on them, or,
Yeah. Or
you know,
they, whatever.
they ran into John Travolta, or they
or
ran into
you
a
wouldn't
better-
put away the
Just who they are
dishes.
as a person. Some people, that's their vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah, or
Yeah,
they're
no, I just
insecure.
think it's like, I think she's right that it's not like a healthy way to think of it, but I just think she's coming too hard. I just, ultimately, I think it's sad.
It is sad, and you're right. I don't
It
think
is
it makes
really
him the
sad.
asshole.
And it's like, bro, don't internalize that shit. Like, that's not your fault. Externalize that shit. Get mad at her.
There we go. Top Reddit comment by I Choose You Snorlax. Definitely a top 20 Reddit username there. F that. Your mom, Sarah, and your sister are all assholes. The nerve of her to show up at your mom's house. I'm pissed off just reading this. I don't understand why your mother is so invested in Sarah. If there's another Sarah in this episode, I'm going to need medication. Why would you want to tell her Sarah cheated on you? Give me some Prozac after how your sister acted. What an effing mess. Not going to lie. You kicking out the screen and taking off through the window is straight savage.
It is. I
I
love
mean,
it.
all this insanity and running away from this problem, it really does make OP look bad, but in no way, I mean, look, how much does it cost to fix a window screen? Like, he just didn't do anything that's that bad.
Whatever. He can pay for it. I don't think they're not even at that point yet. The mom's cut him off totally. Like, it's
Can
about
they
more
even
than
get
the
in the
screen.
bathroom? Like to see the damage?
Yeah,
How are they?
right. It's still locked. We lost the bathroom during the holidays.
Some say it's still locked to this day.
Well, I think we all agree here. AITA for jumping out of a bathroom window to avoid my mom's attempt at forcing a reunion between me and my ex-fiance. Huge NTA.
That was a long
and
title.
The mom is, right?
Oh, absolutely. And the
Absolutely.
sister.
And the sister. And the
Everyone,
aunt.
can
I
we
mean,
have a verdict like everyone else sucks?
everyone else sucks.
Literally.
So,
Especially
Jenna,
Yes.
we got to our verdict. We would love to open up the floor. Do you want to bring to us a situation, a talking point? Do you want to tell us about yourselves? Anything you want, you can share it.
Okay. Well, I'll do a little mini Am I the Asshole?
Woo, we
If
love
that's
it.
cool. My husband loves playing League of Legends, and he has this stupid mouse that clicks really loud.
Oh, I
And
hate a loud
he,
mouse.
like, clicks the mouse and wakes me up at night. I'm going to throw his computer through a window. And he told me that was super, super extreme, but like, would I be the asshole if I followed through when I told him why I hate that so much?
If you threw his computer through the window,
Yeah, like kind of like a savage, like OP in the last one, but much more extreme.
Is there a medium solution?
Yeah.
Can you buy him like a mouse
silent
that you
mouse?
plug in that you, yeah.
Okay, well, so I see that you guys are kind of like taking my therapist side with doing problem solving exercises. So I guess we could go that route if we really
I
want it.
mean, look, I will go. I think your reaction here is a little intense, but I will go. I will come for your husband. I think it's extremely rude that he's not respecting your sleep. Sleep is absolutely vital.
Yes.
And this should be a non-issue. He should be trying to solve this problem with you.
I agree. I'm an excellent spouse. I mean, I have my own stuff, but yeah, generally speaking, I feel like he should want to make me happy. And honestly, he should want me to get enough sleep because nobody
You're right.
wins if I don't.
Right,
So.
he's playing himself by making you crabby. So what is
He
his
really
response?
He's just like, he's literally like, oh, I'm sorry, it won't happen again. But like 5 times in a row. So
Okay.
That's really upsetting, and I'm sorry to hear it. I mean, I think there's a lot of solutions you can look at it, and maybe it's the kind of thing because I used to be into certain video games, and I can kind of understand that maybe it's a hard problem to solve because I'm sure he uses a gaming mouse, and League of Legends is kind of like a gamer's game, so I'm sure he's super into it. So I think maybe approaching him. Have you tried approaching him at a time when he's not actively gaming? Maybe is that part of the problem?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
For sure.
wow.
No, it's when we're like, in the car or something, or he's not focused on it. I'm in a game because he's scary. He's like yelling at people that are probably 14 years old.
While
like
you're asleep?
Yeah.
Wait, then the mouse
He works
is
a
the least
completely
of...
different schedule than me. So
Okay.
that's the issue.
I was going to
yeah.
say the mouse is the least of your problems if he's yelling at people.
I know it's there's rage involved, I think. Better there than in other areas of his life though.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think of things you can do. I know this isn't an advice podcast.
I know, but
maybe get a white noise machine. Maybe just buy him a silent
that's a good
mouse.
idea.
If the silent mouse is hooked up and he doesn't know where the gaming mouse is, and you leave a little note and you're like, I love you, baby. Here's a nice little gift.
And you hide the mouse.
I need to sleep, so maybe cool it a little bit. I guess there's little things you can do without having to make this like a huge showdown.
I love that idea. I didn't know that there was a silent mouse, to be honest. My second idea was going to be to put it down in the basement and be like, this is your new gaming room.
Wait,
That's
that
great.
also seems
Oh,
like a
that's
great
great.
idea.
That's
I
like a
assumed you guys were
sick-
in like a studio.
And you could even sort of, and this might be going too far, but you could sell it as like a new gaming room and buy him a beanbag or some shit or a mini fridge. And he's like, this is so sick. I love you, babe. Blah.
That's true. I could totally win in the situation. I could just flip it and then get so much stuff out of it because he'll feel like he owes me.
I
This
think that
is
would be
the
awesome.
move. I like this.
I think I think we have, I think you sound like an awesome spouse. I'm learning just talking about you because
Same.
sometimes people, they have like a sticking point, a weird sticking point, and
you
it's
see
like,
it on Reddit relationships all the time.
yeah.
It's like, are you guys about to break up because, I don't know, your husband snores? I don't know, something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Something like that seems inconsequential, but it's like years and years of boiling resentment.
Right.
Oh, no, seriously. The littlest things will tick you off if it's been happening over and over again. And then you're blinded by rage, so you can't see like a
Yeah, so
Yes,
true.
relatable.
Now, Sarah, as you know, is single. I'm in a long-term relationship, but we're not quite at the level. Neither of us are at the level of spouse. Do you have any advice for dealing with your spouse?
Oh, God. Buy them the food that they want.
I love that.
Greatest advice. Food solves everything.
It's so true.
That's so smart. Well,
Yeah.
that's great. And I know, Jenna, you're an outdoorsy type.
Yes, I love the outdoors. I am a huge advocate for treating it well. It's our public spaces. They are limited. I run an Instagram account, GI Jenna, where I talk about like how to hike safely and be a good steward to our land. And I feel like I throw in some humor, so it's not super boring as well and not super preachy. But if you want to talk about hiking, please hit me up.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. I got to ask you a question, and I might be way off base here, but are you Canadian?
I am Canadian.
Wow. How did you get that?
Her accent.
Oh my gosh, I've never been told I have an accent before, actually, because
It's
I'm the
so
most
slight.
American Canadian. Oh, that's funny.
Wow,
Okay, I was
cool.
home for 2 weeks, and I think that might be what's happening. It rubs off on you.
Do you have any hiking a-holes that you'd like to list? Like the guy who litters and the guy who I don't know any other ones because I'm not a hiker.
Danny does not hike.
Yeah, the person that keeps their dog off leash when it runs up to you instead of putting it on leash, it's just like, he's friendly. That person. The person that leaves a little dog poop bag on the side of the trail, that person. The person that will not follow rules because they think their Instagram picture is more important than the rules.
The worst.
Not a fan of them. Yeah, there's a couple of people that are not great. And also, if you approach wildlife, you are the asshole.
Oh, yes.
Well, thank you so much, Jenna. I feel like I've learned a lot of information about hiking that I will never apply, but it's good to know these things.
Thank
Excellent.
you.
Well, it was awesome having be on the show, and I love talking to you guys, and I love talking in the Facebook group. So thanks so much for doing this. It's so much fun to listen to.
Thank
Yay.
you. All right, guys. Well, that's been the call-in episode. We've had the time of our
fun.
lives. Sarah is happy because we said the word Sarah 40,000 times.
I think all the Sarahs were the asshole, so I don't love it. Next time, I'm just going to change all the names to Danny.
Well, you should definitely do that. I would love to say Danny. I say Danny a lot.
It's true. I would have to make sure that it could not be construed for your girlfriend.
Honestly, whenever
Somehow.
like a new Danny potentially enters my life, I'm like, look, I don't have bandwidth.
No,
I can't add
the
a
quota's
third.
been filled.
It's too many Dannys. All right, guys. Well, thanks so much. I hope you enjoyed this. Definitely let us know if you're listening to this and you're like, I want to do the, why didn't they do me? Let us know because we would definitely do this again.
It was fun. We'll do it again. Let us know how you liked it and we'll go from there.
Great. And please subscribe to us on Patreon, patreon.com/AITA pod. Much love for you. And
Also rate, review, subscribe wherever you're listening to us right now.
Good, Sarah, you are on your game today.
Thank you.
All right, we'll see you guys next Monday morning.
Bye.